Hey, I am so pumped to be here. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be doing some makeup because I've got a wedding coming up this Saturday, rehearsal on Friday. And like so many of us, because of the pandemic, I haven't really had a ton of events to attend over the past year. So I want to make sure that my foundation is just right. So I've actually been trying different foundations all week long, seeing how they work on my face this time of year with the weather and the humidity, seeing what I like, what I don't like. The only thing I will need to be tweaking is that I'm going to be spray tanning probably tomorrow. So I am going to be a lot of different shades darker, but I want to know the type of makeup that I want to be wearing. So come on in, say a little hello. I hope that you are well. Let me know if you have been able to attend any events or if you do have anything upcoming that you're excited about. So one thing that I have been liking a lot is actually spraying my fresh, clean face, moisturized, eye cream, all that kind of stuff. I already let that sit on my face for a long time. I'm actually spraying setting spray on my face before I do my primer. This is what we like to call a setting spray sandwich. For those of you who really need like super duper long wear, or maybe you have oily skin and the oil still kind of comes through sometimes, this has been a really cool trick and hack that I've been finding. So you do your setting spray, let it dry, put on some primer, let that dry, setting spray it again. It locks that sucker in. It's going to make sure that your makeup really, really hardcore stays on your face. So I've been trying that out, and say a little hello. My comments sometimes work and sometimes don't. So feel free to say a hello, lovely. I hope that I'm going to also pull it up on my phone just so I could see who's here, because I truly, truly appreciate you. And I am live on a couple of different places. So appreciate your waiting. All right, so as I said, I did that setting spray. The foundation I'm going to be wearing today, hi Anna, how are you? Is I'm going to be doing my BB Flawless BB Cream mixed with some concealer. This combo is fabulous. You can really amp up the coverage by adding more concealer or tone down the coverage with the BB cream. This is like my go-to, and then I'm going to put some pressed powder on top. When people ask me, like, what is my favorite foundation, that would be it. That would be it. Hands down. I do love all of my foundations for different reasons, but I'm feeling like this might be the winner. I haven't tried this one yet. I've been trying out the other ones, but I'm just feeling like this might be it. Good morning, Mariah. Lovely to see you. I'm looking forward to seeing my mom for Mother's Day. Haven't seen her in 8 months. That's amazing. Mariah, am I saying your name correctly? I want to make sure that I pronounce it right. It's a beautiful, beautiful name. Thank you, Karen, so much for the hashtag hello, lovely. Great to see you here as well. So let's see. I'm going to be doing... should I try this one? I think I'm going to try this one. Or do I want to do the mattifying primer? I've got a few different primers for those of you who don't know. I've got a drawer full of goodies. I think I am going to use this one, the Prime and Set Powder, and see how this works. This is the fun thing, is I love trying out new makeup tips, makeup applications and stuff, and then I get to share with you what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So I got to see my family for our first holiday. This is the Prime and Set Powder. For any of you who haven't seen it, it's really cool. It is a primer and a setting product, 2-in-1. It's really great, particularly for those of you who want like a really flawless matte finish. And for those of you who have larger pores, so I've got some pretty large pores right here on the apples of my cheeks, so that's why I wanted to attack it with this. And it is hardcore. My friends who live very active lives, Zumba instructors, things like that, they love this product, particularly for their setting product, but I'm going to try it for both priming and setting and see how that goes. Did I decide how I'm going to wear my hair for the wedding? I have not decided yet, Kristina. I have not decided yet. So at some point I'll get there. It's so hard because like you also don't know. I don't know about you all. My hair changes its mind every single day. Some days it's frizzy. Today it's nice and like calmed down. So it really kind of comes down to like what the weather is like on the wedding date. And I am going to also do my hair nicely for the rehearsal too, so on Friday. So hopefully the plan of events will be that I will spray tan. Ooh, I got a silver hair in my face. I will spray tan tomorrow, Thursday. And then on Friday, I do have a hair appointment anyway, just for like cutting and taking care of business. And then I'll have it put up. I am going to hopefully have an updo for the rehearsal just because of the dress that I'm wearing. And then on Saturday, it's funny because I haven't gone to a lot of weddings since I've been a mom. I don't know about many of you who are parents, but it's kind of like life goes through these phases where it's like everybody's getting engaged and getting married, and then everybody's getting kids, and you're still having some people who are getting married. And now I've just kind of been in this block of like nothing zone, no big events to go to. Plus, the pandemic didn't help, right? So um, I just want to like do it up for everything that I can. Do it up for the rehearsal and for the wedding because YOLO, and I don't get to go to anything right now. So this will be a fun experience. So the cool thing about this Prime and Set powder is it's water encapsulated powder. So when it touches your face, there's this instant cooling effect. And as I said, it's great for blurring. So if you have fine lines, particularly large pores, this might be a product that you may want to check out. You do work in little sections at a time because it is so like strong and grippy. You do want to make sure that you just put a little on, kind of press it in, and then buff it out. I'm just using my setting powder brush for this. I'm not in the wedding party, Kristina. I am the officiant. So I'm the person that's actually marrying them. It has been so cool to learn how to be an officiant, to do all the research, to get to know the couple in a different way. And who knows, this might be something that I continue to do in the future. I'm pretty excited about it. I've loved the process so far, but it's very different. And I will tell you, it's a heck of a lot more work than I ever imagined. So I feel so badly. My dad married us. Kristina, you were at the wedding. My dad was our officiant. I had no idea how much work went into being an officiant. Excuse me while I try to find, here we go, my eyeshadow primer. You need to interview the couple a couple of times together just to get their interactions, get their love story a bit more down, figure out what they want in the wedding, what kind of flow or feel do they want? What kind of things do they want talked about? Do they want their love story shared or do they not? Because they figure everybody who's attending already knows their love story. Do they want mentioning of, growing a family or do they not? Do they want religious aspects? It's like this whole huge thing. And then you get to interview the partners separately. And see if they want to write their own vows, see if they need help with that, tweak things a little bit here or there. So the couple who I'm marrying, they did decide to write their own vows, which is super fun. So I've helped work with them on those vows. And yeah, it's just been like a really neat experience. So they bought these little vow books off of Etsy that we found. And I'm going to help print the vows out and kind of glue them inside those books and give those books to them so they can practice it. And then I will get the books back and I will hold on to them and I'm going to have like this cool little efficient binder. It's very different. I had a good laugh though, because prior to my work here home with our media company and prior to working with the television and film industry, I was a music and theater teacher. And one of the things that the officiant needs to do is you're like the master of ceremonies. You're running the bus, you're running the ship. And so on Friday at the rehearsal, I'm in charge. Like, I have to tell people, you sit here, we walk in this order, now you will come up, please practice your lines. Like, I'm pretty much the director. And so thank goodness I have that theater teaching experience that I can kind of lean on because that's really what it's going to be like. Let's see. There we go. Figure this out. This is my concealer. So in case you can't tell, I have a lot of veins and freckles on my upper eyelid. So I do like to put a little bit of concealer on my eye so that way it really kind of cancels that out and the eyeshadows look beautiful because there's just a lot of coloring already going on my eyelid. That when I do eyeshadows, I want them to pop and I don't want that to necessarily be muddied by all the discoloration on my eyelid. Kathy, missed the names of the product. Let me know what product you're questioning, and I will definitely help you, my friend. Let me know what you're talking about. So this is, I'm just putting on my concealer. Putting on my concealer to brighten up. I put it on my eyelids. Not everybody needs to or does. I like to because of the discoloration on my eyelids. So once again, all I've put on my face so far is I put some setting spray, sprayed it over my face. Then I did my new Prime and Set powder. I used it as the primer at this point. It's filling in those pores, filling in those fine lines. It's also going to act like a Velcro to keep the makeup on my face. And then I'm going to be putting on setting spray again, doing what I'm calling a setting spray sandwich. So if you are oily, you live in a humid environment, you've got a big event that you need to make sure your makeup looks flawless all day, this might be something you want to try. I do recommend anybody who wears makeup to have setting spray in your arsenal. Setting spray, this will last you, no joke, a year. And it's like hairspray for your face. So you know when your hair looks just perfect and you're like, I'm just going to add a little spritz of hairspray so that it stays that way? That's what you think of with setting spray, but it can also be used in this way to really help lock in the staying power. So I haven't put on foundation yet, Kathy, but I will be. So the foundation that I'm going to be putting on in just a moment is going to be my BB Flawless BB Cream. This is my favorite foundation for people who are beginners, for people who are more makeup minimalist and really want to let their natural freckles or coloring shine through. It's also my favorite for friends who are a bit more mature and have a lot of fine lines, as it does not settle in fine lines. It's very hydrating. You can amp up the coverage by adding more or by using a tool like a brush or a blending bud. You can do lighter coverage just by using your fingers, and you can also amp up the coverage by mixing in a little bit of concealer. So this is like one of my favorite go-to combos. I have honestly never had a customer who's had this combo who has complained. Like it's the no fail kind of look. And then to amp up coverage again, I'm just going to go over a little bit with some pressed powder to help mattify it just a little bit. So I am doing BB Flawless, a concealer, and then a setting, then a powder. And what I like about the powder is it's a little compact, so there's a mirror in it and there's a little sponge, so throughout the day if I need to touch something up, I can just touch it up with that. All right, and Kristina says you'll be putting your mom hat on too, telling people how to behave. I know this group, I know most of these people. It's a family that I've been close with for almost 2 decades, so they'll be fine. They'll be fine. A lot of them are performers themselves, so they all are going to have their own jobs with readings and music and stuff. So it's going to be good. It's not a large bridal party. There's just a matron of honor, and then a best man, and then there's performers. So it should be pretty good. All right. So you've been seeing, I've been shaking up this foundation. Whenever you use skincare or makeup, and if it's liquid or creamy kind of based, give it a good shake. Give it a good shake, particularly if you haven't worn it in a day or two. If you're not using it every single day, you really want to make sure all of the ingredients are shaken up really, really well. Amy said, do you get extra creases on around your eyes when you use the concealer? So I put eye primer on, Amy, and that's going to help me with the creasing. And when it comes to creasing with concealer, a lot of it comes down to the type of concealer you're using and also the skincare that you're doing for under your eyes. So that is a, great question. I wanted to, oh, here it is. This is actually the primer that I use under my eyes. It's my hydrating primer. So I don't use this all over my face. I have normal skin. Particularly this time of year, I might get like a little sweaty. So just like normal skin, but under my eyes, because I'm 38 going on 39, I'm trying to make sure that it is as luxurious and hydrated as possible. So I do really great skincare. And Amy, I'm going to be getting back to you, my friend. I know you sent me a message, so I'm sorry. I'm tackling through messages right now. So I take honestly just like the smallest little bit of that hydrating primer, and I put it under my eyes. Some people get like crepey and creasing right under here because of hydration. So you really want to make sure that your skincare is doing what it needs to do. This area does not have the same natural oil glands that the rest of our face has. So it is going to get crepier, wrinklier, drier, elephant skin looking a lot sooner than the rest of your face. So we need to give it extra special attention. So because of that, I use that hydrating primer every day underneath my eyes. It makes a magnificent difference. So you may be like, Mary, you had a face primer and an eye primer. They last so long because I use little bits and amounts, and they do their job. For me, I would rather have a hydrating primer that I use that much on underneath my eyes every single day to make sure that my eyes are hydrated, non-creasy, they look fabulous, right? It's like when you get the right things, it's worth it. This is going to be good, says Raven. What's going to be good? Ooh, what? Tell me, Raven on YouTube. Okay, so I did my base. I did setting spray. I did my prime and set powder, this magical powder that's brand new. Fills in those pores, those fine lines. And then I took the setting spray and I sprayed it again. Setting spray sandwich. underneath my eyes, I've done some hydrating primer. I'm really going to let that sit. I'm going to let it sit and soak. When you put on primer, it's there to fill in those holes, those pores, those fine lines. You need to let it set for a little bit. You need to like put it on and go brush your teeth, or put it on, then do your eyeshadows, because face primer needs to set for a little bit, or else it just mixes with your foundation and it doesn't get to do its job properly. So I personally like to go in and do a little bit of eyeshadow at this point. Let's see, what eyeshadow do I want to do? I'll just take one of these because I don't know where I put. I just moved some things around. Are they there? They are there. Excuse me as I reach on over you, my friends. I'm just going to take one of my liquid eyeshadows. Super easy. Super, super easy. We'll just do a little pinky one right here. It's like a mauve pink. I love these because you can just do it with your finger and they blend beautifully. You can use them in addition to each other to create like a multi-dimensional look, or you can use them with a pressed eyeshadow, but they're just super easy. Once again, kind of like my everyday lady supplies would be one of these liquid eyeshadows. And what I'm doing now, though, by doing my eyes first, is I'm still getting part of my face done, but it's letting that primer sit and do its job. If you've ever used face primer before and it hasn't worked for you, the first question that I always ask is, how long did you let it sit? Did you let it sit, or did you just slab on the foundation right away? Because if so, then it didn't get to do its job properly. Boom. Awesome. Eyeshadow done. So easy. So, so easy. Right. Let's go in with the foundation. So BB Flawless BB Cream, super light tinted. I will be using a different shade once I'm spray tanned. And then I go in with a little bit of concealer and I mix it in just on the back of my hand. Just kind of like plop it together. You could also just do dots on your face and then do dots of the concealer. The other thing that I like to do is I like to go in and kind of fix the areas that is a little too light right now. My spray tan is still fading. Whoop, let's go with lace. You want to go in and do any of like your areas of concern, you know, acne, scarring, age spots, like what I have right here. Kind of cover those up a little bit before you put on your foundation. It'll just help you get that extra flawless coverage. Woohoo! So that's just like a larger age spot that I have. What I like to kind of spot treatment some of my big things. So if I had a blemish or an age spot, rather than having to do like full coverage foundation over my entire face, I personally like to just kind of go in and spot treatment those areas, and then I can do more of a minimalist makeup look because those areas are taken care of. I like a lot of my freckles to still show too. They're part of who I am. I've always had freckles. They've also been nice camouflage as I've gotten older and I've got more age spots. They just kind of blend in. Is that a freckle or an age spot? So I'm excited. I did just get a text from one of the companies that I've had to reach out to for this week. So I'm just taking a damp blending bud, blending that concealer ever so gently, nice little circular motions. Circular motions keep makeup still strongly pigmented, so it's kind of still keeping it around the area. And when you're covering up your things that you're insecure about, you're covering up your blemishes, your age spots, don't make it lighter than your face. Don't make it lighter, because then you're just highlighting it. Okay, so fun little tip for you right there. Hello, thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to take this medley on my face, and I am going to blend it. Let's see, I think I'm going to blend it with the blending bud. So I'm just mixing it on the palm of my hand, right here, not the palm, the back of my hand. And you can just kind of dab where you need to. Let's get this hair out of the way. Here's another fun foundation fact for you. Put the majority of your foundation where you need it and then blend it outwards. Don't go crazy and do like just a whole bunch of foundation everywhere, because often you don't need it in all certain areas. So start off slow. I like to start in the center of my face and then kind of blend it out, and then I add more where I need it. Okay, let's go to town. Let's connect these dots. Just taking, once again, damp blending bud, and I'm just tapping and pressing it in. Because this is a BB cream mixture, it's going to be nice and hydrating and dewy and just like skin-like. And because I'm pressing it in with the blending bud, it also is going to really help keep that skin-like texture. I don't like to look like I'm wearing caked on makeup. There are a lot of people, particularly if they're a lot younger than me, that do like full face makeup. You've probably seen them. And it's like they paint it on and their face is a total blank canvas. And that is a look that they like, and that's totally okay. It's not how I like to do my makeup. I really like it to be fresh and look like me as much as I can. Also because some days I don't wear makeup. And I know some people who wear like hardcore full coverage foundation every day, they almost feel like they can't go out in public if they don't have makeup on because they don't look like themselves. So I err on the side of like, let's try to look as much like me as possible, cover up anything that I want to cover up, but still let like my natural coloring and freckles shine through. Hi, Griffy. How are you from Norway? Thank you so much for tuning in. How is everything over there going? I don't know if I've had somebody tune in from Norway before, so thank you so much for letting me know where you're watching from. And anybody else who wants to let me know where you're watching from, let me know. It's always fun. I actually am going to start keeping a map to see where I have customers from, like to see if I have customers in all 50 states. I think I'm pretty close. There are a couple states that I'm pretty sure I don't have anybody in yet. And then all the countries that I ship to, I want to see if I've been able to accomplish that so far. Hello, Nicole. Thanks for tuning in from Utah. I know where you are. All right, so I'm just like pouncing. And one of the cool things that you're going to see, you see this kind of like sheen, the shine, that's the dewiness. That's the dewiness from the BB cream. So if you're looking for something youthful, you want to think a bit of a dewy finish. Same thing with your lips. If you want your lips to look more youthful, you're going to go for like a lip gloss, a little bit of a lip sheen. So I've just got a little bit of extra product left here, and I'm just going to go and see where I want it. I'll do a little bit more here. It's just really, really natural. And as I said, I will be going over it with some pressed powder. So does anyone here have any plans for this summer or this spring? Because I do. I have this wedding coming up. And then after that, I do have another wedding June 5th. June 5th. And that one's supposed to be a bit bigger as restrictions get more opened. And I am fully vaccinated. That was one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that I would be fully vaccinated before this wedding. So I've got that base foundation on, that BB cream mixed with that concealer. It amped up the coverage. It gave me this really nice light dewy coverage that I love. Now I'm going to go in and highlight a little bit with some concealer. Let's see, do I want to do... I'm going to do the dark parts under my eyes actually with my normal shade, and then I'll lighten things up a little bit. So this is the same shade that I used on top of my eyes. It's shade Organza. And we're just going to do little dabs, little dabby dab. A little goes a long way with this concealer. Kristina, if you're still here, have you been able to try the concealer yet? Or are we still waiting for it? I'm trying to figure out. I have to look because I have to do one last shipment today. One last shipment of all my flash sale goodies finally came in. Thank goodness. I've been waiting for the mailman every single day. I'm like, come on, buddy. I want to ship out my goodies to my friends. Karen is watching from Sweden. Thank you so much, Karen. Great to have you here. Love having all my European friends tuning on in because it's such a different time of day for you all too. So just a nice light dab. With this concealer, really what I'm just trying to do is help kind of color correct a little bit, brighten things up, and then I bring the extra up on my upper cheekbone and back towards my hairline. This helps give a lifted appearance. Last night I had the pleasure of doing a really fun virtual beauty class, like a Zoom beauty class, which many of you were able to attend. And if you didn't, it is on my profile so you can watch the replay of it. But we talked about different eyeshadow tips and tricks. We talked about blush tips and tricks and some lip gloss stuff. All right, so nice and blended. I feel good. Yes, we got some neighbors going on here. Let's go in and do a bit of contouring, a little bit of warming up. Dun, 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 dun. You guys ready to see something a little crazy? This is how I'm going to contour with this shade right here. So I'm actually going to do it right here. Right here. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. I have a rather big forehead, so I like to kind of contour it to make it look a little smaller. I'm also going to contour my nose a smidge to make my nose look a little smaller. So I'm using a dark, cooler undertoned product, stick foundation, to contour with. When you contour, you obviously want it to be a bit darker than your foundation color. I like it to be a little bit cooler undertoned, but it's all up to personal preference. When I'm bronzing, when I'm trying to like add that warmth to my face, I will go for a warmer undertoned product. But when I'm contouring, I'm trying to add shadows. I'm trying to add depth and dimension into my face. I do this because since I added that concealer, I made my foundation fuller coverage and I lost some dimension, okay? So when you do medium to fuller coverage, you are going to want to kind of chisel some things out, add some blush, add a little bit of bronzer, so that way you've got a little bit more life back into your face, and yet you were able to cover any of the things that you were insecure about, any of those blemishes or age spots. So I like to just kind of take that product and work it around my hairline. I make sure I go down kind of right here in my forehead. Everyone's face shape is different. So play around with different contouring techniques. And as I said in last night's live video, I mentioned different blush techniques. And you can use blush to highlight your cheekbones. You can use blush to lift your cheekbones up, to add some fullness to your face if you feel like your face looks a little gaunt. You can add blush so that you have more of a sun-kissed look. There's all different ways. It's just about where you apply it that it can really tweak how your face looks. It's like an optical illusion. Yay, Nicole! Nicole was able to join. What was your biggest takeaway last night, Nicole? Thank you for joining. And yes, we hope to have some more. We're going to take feedback from last night's event, see what went well, what didn't, and then go from there. So see how I'm just taking that product? It was so dark, but because I used a little bit and it's a creamy product on top of an already creamy base, I'm really able to blend it out and do what I need to. You don't need to go like super, super heavy-handed when you're doing your contouring, because really what you're just trying to do is create a subtle shadow. So this is slimming my nose. I would have seen my natural nose shadow, and now I'm putting it in a bit further. Hopefully I'm not making my nose crooked in the process, because I am not looking at where I'm supposed to be going. I'm too busy looking at the camera. And then right here, I am contouring underneath my bottom lip. It's going to make it look like my lip is so full that it casts a shadow, right? Crazy. Oh, yeah, you liked the blush tip. That's awesome. You'll have to let me know if you try it out. So just blending this out. Now you could also contour underneath your jaw if you want to slim it, if you feel like you've got a little bit of a second chin kind of going on. You can make your chin look a little squarer, really accent things. Remember, contouring is about carving out dimension. So making your cheekbones be a bit more dramatic, making your chin look a little more dramatic. It's about adding shadow, faux shadows to make, oh, I got it on my ear. Telling you guys, I'm not looking in the mirror the way I'm supposed to be. You're just adding, you're like a painter. You're a painter and you're adding dimension into the portrait otherwise known as your face. So I've just been playing around with different techniques, different methods this week to see which one is going to ultimately be the winner for the wedding. I'm so happy you liked the blush tip. Hi, Blake. Karen says, I would have loved to watch last night, even though it was rather late for me, but unfortunately it was the same time as a Beehive book club. No worries, Karen. The replay is available. So if you just go to my VIP group, you'll see the replay there. So you can watch it at your leisure. Because that's the thing. Everybody has things that they're doing, right? We're all busy at different times. All right, so I added that contour. I will say when you first do the contour, you might be like, oh, goodness gracious, just take your blending bud and blend a little bit in the upwards direction. Make sure that there's no harsh lines. You don't want there to be like a stark line where there's the contour and then there's not. So I just take that blending bud to blend it and make it look super, super natural. And now I have dimension on my face. Let's go in and set things with a bit of pressed powder, shall we? So I'm just going to take my pressed powder. Hopefully this shade will work for today. As I said, tomorrow I'm going to be spray tanning, so I'm going to be a whole different shade. Oh, man. All right, let's try this out. Let's see. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. So I'm just taking a big fluffy brush. One of the things we talked about in last night's workshop is that depending upon the density of your brush, how thick the bristles are, is how much product is going to be picked up and how strong it's going to be. So if I wanted full coverage from this pressed powder alone, I would get a really densely packed kabuki brush, and this would pack on a ton of product, give me full coverage. I'm using a really nice, soft, loose brush for this just because it's going on top of my product already. I'm really just using it to add just a little bit more coverage, but really to kind of set things and give it that last bit of flawless look. So what I'm doing is I'm going underneath that contour. I'm not going on top of it with this pressed powder. You could, but it would diminish that a little bit. So I'm going right underneath it, and what that's doing is it's kind of like chiseling it out a little bit more. You almost want to have like a lighter line underneath your contour to really make those cheekbones look super poppin'. And then I'll add a little bit on my forehead, and then I'll keep this compact with me throughout the day, so if I need to do little touch-ups, I can. Do any of you ever use a pressed powder? You know, like the little compact and check up on yourself. It reminds me so much of high school and middle school. I feel like I had the CoverGirl compact. I feel like everybody did. Probably had the wrong shade. I didn't even have that many breakouts in that time frame in my life, but I just felt like everyone did it. You know, all the girls would sit there and they'd be like at the end of class, you know, dabbing and fixing things, and I was like, oh, this is what we're supposed to do. Okay. But I like it. I just like that I'll be able to like check my makeup, make sure nothing's rubbed or flown out of place. So really great. So once again, now I've created this really nice soft coverage. I'm going to go in with a little bit of powder now to warm things up, more of like a bronzing. This is a makeup look I'll be doing for wedding stuff, my friends. So if you're not multi-step process every day, don't worry. I'm not multi-step process every day either. This is all just trying things out. So I'm going more above that since this is a warmer shade. This is a few shades darker than my skin tone. So this is what I'm using more as a bronzer. Okay, so when you're looking for bronzers, you want to do something a couple shades darker than your natural skin tone. Back Pocket Compact. Ashley knows what I'm talking about. So this is going to give that more like summery, you know, look that on top of the dimension that I already had with the contouring. You do not need to contour. You don't. If you're trying to slim your face, if you feel like your forehead's too big, if you feel like your nose is too wide, contouring can help you with that. If you feel like your lip is too thin, contouring can help that. If you feel like you want to slim down that second chin a little bit, contouring can help. You do not need to contour. If you do medium to fuller coverage foundation, I do recommend you at least bronze or blush. Add a little bit of that color back in. How was the beehive last night, Karen? I'll be joining and doing some fun stuff in the summer, in June, with our beehive group, the Outlander Cast Clan Book Club. For all of our Outlander Book Club readers, we're getting so excited with the announcement, of course, that Diana came out, that she finally finished her book, and we're just gearing up with extra excitement for later this fall. All right, so see how that just gave me a little bit of glow. Once again, I am still on the paler side right now, so I'm not trying to be like orangey, glowy, glistening goddess. I'm telling you though, if you see me now and then you see me Friday, I'm going to be a different shade. Thank you, the magic of spray tan. Let's do some blush magic, shall we? Those of you who joined last night, you were able to see some of my tips and tricks. And I am going to do the lifted look today. So we're going to take the shade that I've been using for like a straight up month right now. It's a nice bright pink. If you have any questions about coloring, just shoot me a message. So I'm going to do a lifted look. I'm going to take it starting at my kind of hairline right here and going more on the top of my cheekbone, stopping at my pupil or beforehand, rather than going heavy on the apples of my cheeks. So I'm really depositing more of that color on the higher portion of my cheekbone and just doing this nice little sweep. I even make it more like a C, and I kind of go around my eyebrow right there. This is going to give a lifted appearance. It's going to draw more attention to my eyes. So if you feel like your face is getting a little droopy, a little saggy, or a little fuller than you like, and you want to add a lift, this is one of the ways you can do it. You don't need to go and get like fillers and surgery. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying you don't have to. You can play with makeup tricks, tips and tricks. Karen says, it was great as usual. Angela is amazing. And we all have a fantastic group. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. It really is such a great group, Karen. Such a great group. Just amazing, kind, generous, lovely women who love Outlander. It's so fun. I'm so thankful for the internet, for allowing us to be able to find each other who care about the same fandoms, who have similar interests. It's just made the world feel a lot cozier. A lot cozier. Not like the only person that you know who likes something anymore. There are people who like the same things you like, who want to talk about the same things you like. And for that, I will be eternally grateful. All right, so rather than depositing the color right here, I'm bringing it more up here. I am going to blend it just a smidge. Where are you? Where are you, little guy? I've had this one for so long that I broke it. Don't die on me. But I'm also frugal, so I'm like, I'm not just going to go and buy another one. It still works just fine. So I'm taking just that brush, and I'm just softening the edges where it met right here, so it's not like a harsh line. You never want harsh lines on your face. Always nice and soft. Soft, soft, soft. All right, let's set this masterpiece, shall we? I, in the beginning, used this Prime and Set powder as my primer. You can also use it as your setting product. You want to shake it up. It is water encapsulated little bits. The powder is all around the water, so when it hits your face, it is going to have an instant cooling effect. It also means that you're not just going to be able to dab it and flutter it everywhere. You have to work kind of in small areas at a time. This will not allow makeup to budge. It's crazy. It will lock the makeup on your face. It's great, particularly for those of you who want to have like a flawless, poreless looking face. It's a great product for that. It is very different than other setting products though, so just be ready. So I picked some up with my setting powder brush. I'm going to start in my area of most concern, these little pores right here. So I kind of like press it on, and I feel that instant chilling sensation as the powder is now broken, and then I'm going to swirl. Hi Tammy, thanks again for joining us last night. Loved having you there. So once again, I just dip it in, tap off a little extra. Gonna go once again onto this side. Press a little bit. I feel all those little water molecules kind of break and instant cooling effect, and then I blend it out. This is an absolute game changer if you need your makeup to 100% stay in your face. You know, so if you're gonna be hugging people and you don't want to get your makeup smeared all over their shoulder, you're gonna want to try this out. It is very, very different, though. I will say, when I first tried it, I was like, what is this sorcery? I can't handle it. I wasn't used to the chilling sensation. I wasn't used to the fact that, like, it stays put. It's not, like, blendable because it's sticking and it's locking your makeup in place. So it is very, very different, as I said. But it's doing its job. Oh, I'm so glad that you thought it was fun last night, Tammy. Makes me so happy. Right, now I'm going down there on my little, below the nose. We'll go on my chin. So you just pick up a little bit, press it on, and then blend it a little bit. Really making sure that that powder, encapsulated, water encapsulated powder, it's doing its job. It's really, really matte. So even though I had that nice, dewy, hydrating finish, this is going to mattify it and lock it in, but I'm keeping all the hydration qualities of the BB cream. The fact that it's not going to settle in my fine lines, I mean, I just love it. I can't speak more highly enough about it. It's great. Woo! I gotta fix these eyebrows though. I got all my foundation and powder in it, didn't I? All right, so that is taken care of. If at this point you feel like I don't have enough blush or I don't have enough bronzer, you can always add a little bit more. I do that frequently where I'm like, I just want to amp it up a little bit, but I just kind of let things settle a little bit. Let's fix these brows, and then I'll add on some mascara, throw in a lippy, and we'll be good to go. And I need to fix my hair. This is how I always know I'm ready for a hair appointment, when it just starts to get like a little wild. I am happy with it. I'm happy with the length. I'm happy with the silver for coming in, but it starts to get a little wild. I'm going to do just some basic mascara today. I'm going to do my Brown Epic. I do not wear this frequently, but I do love it. It's particularly great for those of you who are blonde or ginger and really don't want to have like stark black eyelashes, or if you're a silver sister and you want to make sure that it looks a little bit more natural, or really anybody who's looking for a bit more natural of a lash look, but you like to have that definition, you like to have the length, but not necessarily like the really stark black. You can just use my brown. Wish I had thickness of your hair. Oh, Tammy, it sometimes is wild. You know, everyone's hair comes with their own struggles. Today it's behaving, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Some days it is a wild, wild mane. And it's funny because my kids both have very, very different hair, at least now. I know that hair can change, but right now my daughter's hair texture is much like Blake's, where it's thin. And just the strands themselves are thin. And my son has coarse hair like myself, and he has tons of it. So he ended up getting my crazy thick hair gene, but it gets so hot. The poor thing, he's always like, "Mom, it's like I'm wearing a hat." So those of you who are thick haired, you know what I'm talking about. So I first put on some eyelash primer. This is like a daily deep conditioning treatment. It's going to take the results that you have from your favorite mascara and just boost them even more. It's going to make your lashes more separated, make them a bit thicker. And as I said, it's a deep conditioning treatment for your lashes. So I'm going to take out this brown wand. Now the mascara itself also has biotin and keratin in it. So it's also going to be putting really lovely nutrients and vitamins into those lashes that you want, because they are hairs, just like the hairs on our head. So I get really close right to the base of those lashes, wiggle it in. It almost gives me a faux look of eyeliner. If you're just applying your mascara on the tips or middles of your lashes and not getting to the bottom, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're just not getting the most oomph that you can. I also kind of like to flick back and forth on the backs of my lashes to really make sure that I get a nice coat back and front. And then I kind of just like blink it on. You do not need to take your mascara wand and dip it a million times. Really, really, really safe. Oh, look, I already got some on my eyelid. I always do. I didn't listen to my own advice and hold a mirror down low. Oh, crazy thick hair is a blessing, says Tammy. Some days it's a blessing, Tammy, but not every day. I'm telling you. Come August, doesn't feel like a blessing. All right, so when you get mascara on your eyelid, do not curse. Just take a deep breath and say, "Mary taught me what to do." I'm just going to take a deep breath and try to ignore it for a moment and let it dry. Let it dry. One of the ways you can avoid having it on your eyelid is actually holding a mirror down here and looking down, because then when you whip your wand up, it doesn't hit your eyelid like it just did for me. It actually just hits the air. You'd think after my applying mascara on Facebook Lives for 4 years that I would have learned to stop, not looking in a mirror in my hand, but sometimes I'm just going too fast. If you do not have a handheld mirror, you can get one at like the dollar store, but you can also just kind of tip your head back when you're applying your makeup in your bathroom mirror. It'll give the same effect. But looking at yourself straight on, you will most likely get it on your eyelid, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. There we go. Wish they would make your products available on screen soon. I know, Karen. I know. Soon, my friend. I'm really hoping soon for you, because I would love to be able to get them to you. Let's see. So I want to clean up that little oopsie. I want to clean up the little oopsie. Where is my little spoolie? You can take a clean wand, like when you're done with your mascara wands, wash them off, and you can use them to be like a little eyelash comb. You can use an eyelash comb like one of these while they're still drying, just to like help kind of comb things through. But the thing that I really love to do is I just kind of place these. This eye right here, I've got a cowlick. So if you ever have an area where your lashes always want to clump together, it's most likely a cowlick. Just like you get cowlicks in your hair. So what you're going to look for is like a spoolie, like the back of your brow product, or I'm just going to use this kind of brush right here. Now that this is dried, you can just kind of brush back and forth and it makes it go away. You can also use your clean mascara wand, but it needs to be dry when you do this. When it's dry, it can just kind of flake right off. Let's see, did I get a little bit on this side? Yep, this was the side that I just wanted to mess all up. I just went crazy on that side. Where do you store your old mascara wands? So I would just put it, take your old mascara wand and just keep one. In particular, I would use a twisted mascara wand. That's what I'm going to do with my next one. This one is about done. This one right here. So I would wash this off, and then I would also wash off the baby wand. And then I would just keep them like in your brush container. you know. But wash them off so that they don't have any product on them. And then this is perfect to help kind of comb through. You can use them to comb through your brows. You can use them to comb through your lashes to make sure that there's no little cowlicks or whatever, but they are just perfect because they're meant for your eyelashes anyway. So that's what I would do. All right, I did that. We're good to go. I just need a little lippy. I'm not putting product in my brows. If you don't have brows, you would obviously want to do your brows. But my brows are super duper thick, like my head, like the hair on my head. This is the lip that I think I'm going to wear for the wedding. I'm gonna take a nude lip liner, hopefully, if I have a pencil sharpener. Sorry that I'm not as prepared as I thought. I moved some things around, and I don't think I have a pencil sharpener. That's okay. I'll still wear the lip gloss. This is my favorite nude gloss. Remember how I was saying earlier that like I haven't found a person who hasn't loved the BB cream? I haven't found a person that hasn't loved this particular shade of lip gloss. It is the shade Luxe. And when we got rid of our old formula of lip glosses, I went crazy and I bought a ton of these because they're so good. So, so good. So I'm happy that lip glosses are back, reformulated with a whole bunch of fruit oils to really help hydrate those lips. Lip glosses are going to make your lips look fuller, make your lips also look younger. They are not mask friendly though. If it's glossy, it's going to make a whole big mess on your mask. So if you need something that is mask friendly, you want something matte. Oh, you're welcome, Grethy. Or Greth. Let me know how to pronounce your name too. Never realized that could be the reason I so often get mascara on my eyelids. Thanks for the tip. You're welcome. Raven says looking cuter. Thank you. Thank you. So just really, really simple. I'm not going hardcore. The thing that I'm trying this week is I'm trying to see which different foundations that I want. So as you can see, you can wear different foundations and really tone down your eyes, your lips. You don't have to go full out glam, but if you want to have the coverage, you can still have that like more natural laid back makeup look while you try out different coverages. Nicole says, I have a hard time wearing lip gloss because of the stickiness. Or you're sticky. Mine are not sticky. I know exactly what you're talking about, Nicole. I've tried so many lip glosses, and when you pull your lips apart, it's like a mozzarella stick. Mine isn't like that. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's something about the ingredients, but they just stay on my lips. They don't stick to each other and get all gross. It's magic in a bottle. It's really, really good. But yeah, I love, love, love these lip glosses. So I hope that that was helpful. If you all have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I do have a VIP group on Facebook. You just search the hashtag Minute with Mary. I share loads of tips and tricks in there as well. And then if you ever have products that you'd like me to demonstrate live or questions that you have that I can answer live, send me a message and I can see if I can enter it into my routine so that I can tackle it live for you and have this back and forth interaction. We are hoping to be having at least a once a month live Zoom webinar where you can join us and we tackle certain products like we did blush and eyeshadow and lip gloss last night. The replay is available in my VIP group. I'd love for you to check that out. And I hope that you have a beautiful day. Nicole, if you have any questions about the shades of the lip glosses, I can send you some swatches so you can see all the colors there. You can also try them on virtually at minutewithmary.com. You click minutewithmary.com, you click shop now or shop products, and then you go to the menu and there's a virtual beauty guide try-on room. And you just take a selfie of yourself, ideally without makeup on, but you're able to like click and try all the different lip gloss shades on you to see what they would look like. So I hope you all have a great day. I'll talk